Good morning, everyone. Today's Tuesday. It is February the 12th, and this is the morning Futures in 5 report. Taking a look at the ES, and we can see that what we've done is slip right over this resistance zone. Now, here's something very interesting. When you take the beginning of a larger move that looks downside, the first thing that you have to do is realize that there are going to be several hiccups in the space. So you enter in the position, and this I'm talking about for our swing position short, and you take profit at the 27.05 area. 27.0375 is what I actually said in the report from yesterday. We've been able to do that twice. Now we're bouncing up above here. The question is, can we add to the swing short right here? My thought is, I don't think that that's an ideal event. What would be better is if you watched it reject this zone and then come back down and fail this area, giving us another shot at potentially taking some profit. We do not want to be outsized on a swing position that begins running into other resistance. Now, I do think it has the potential for that most certainly, so we will be watching for that. Above this 27.31, we'll have trouble until 27.37, and then 46 to 54 become areas that we can look at on the horizon, but that's not here yet. So we are going to have to adapt if this is indeed telling us that. And I am not certain that it is, to be very honest. I do trust my system. Systems aren't 100% right all the time, certainly. But that is why we take profit in the early parts of the trade and we reinitiate as it came into the area. So now I have quite a bit of cushion in this swing short. So today, we are looking at how well we hold the close at around 27.17. Holding that zone will be fairly bullish on the space, and there are certainly some things we can do there, but we'll be talking about that from that end. Now let's say, hey, listen, you don't have anything going. What's going on? Hey, this is upside. This is upside. Pullbacks are going to be buy zones. You don't want to buy the breakout. I say that 1,000 times. I should probably stop saying it, but what I notice is people still buy breakout. So you don't. You wait for pullback opportunities or really solid events that tell you you're in good shape. Here, this is resistance zone, so pullbacks into old areas of support like, I don't know, 69.50. That is a nice level, and then again, 69.25. You just decide where it is that you're going to do that and initiate. Now, you can't see on tighter time frames using the range of motion what we're likely to see, but my thought is, of course, that we stall here at the old resistance zone. So we actually begin fading action that gives us downside pressure here on the day. I suspect we fade this entire move, but we have to prepare for things we do not expect. That's what makes for good trading and good risk management. And so if you're looking at long action and you say, well, you know, if she's got this idea that there might be a deep fade, maybe I don't jump in right here. And if I do jump in, I better get up and over 56 to 60 in a hurry, or I might have to just cut and run. All right? So that's really what we are looking at. I'm looking at the bounces to fail. I'm looking at pullback for buy zones intraday. And of course, that is how I'll be focused. Taking a look at the YM, this one did a pretty good job at recovery, right? Came up through the edges, tons of trigger prices here. So we know how important this is. It's still lower highs, coming up into this area, breaching the zone. But if we take a look at, say, this set of wicks, this wick here, that wick there, you can see that we do have some selling pressure up at the 25,235-ish region. What's the best bet? Take a look. Flat moving average. Flat moving average tells us we can go all the way back down to 25,000. What's fairly likely is the test of the midline. And that can be anywhere from 25,078, 25,116, anywhere around that zone. That's going to give you buying pressure in general. But if you can't get up over 143, you better cut and run, right? It's just simple. You do, you know, I work with someone right now, and he always says, take what the market gives you. And really, it is that. Hey, you want it to go all the way up here. That's great. You can't. Market's only going to give you here, then get out there. This big bounce off this trend line, off the motion, absolutely huge bounce. What do I think? I think it's resistance. I do. I think it's resistance. We don't get buying pressure here until we break up and over and pull back into these zones. Now, my thought is, can we get and stay up over this 54.16 to 54.20 area? That's going to give us more price action that we can count on in terms of further bullish motion. We have the API after the close today. We have the EIA tomorrow. And, we're looking at a volume event that is, when is this going to close? Right, it's going to close at 10. And this volume event is going to be very, very interesting. We still have a couple hours right there, so we'll see where this goes. What I see is resistance. If it gets up and holds this area, it's going to turn into support. I'm going to watch it come up through the edge. This entire range is sideways, absolutely sideways, like most of the charts. This sideways, yesterday trigger events, it lost our low short level to go short, but it did not confirm, so there was no entry short there. Tons of information here, but in the end, we are landlocked. And we're landlocked for a number of different reasons. It doesn't really matter what those reasons are. What we can see, however, is this downward pressure here in the chart is not showing up right here in the zone, so something's got to give. Either it's going to eventually show up, or this is going to change direction. One or the other. So what we have to do is just see how well it holds the edges and realize that we can sell here to open and buy here to open until we can't. And that means that we have to watch our risk. All right, kind of a slow economic week in general, but Jerome Powell does speak today, and the dollar has been on a scorcher. So we'll see what it has to do. I think that gold is really not submitting to all that pressure because of a number of different factors, but it could easily finally submit to that pressure in general. All right. Take care, everybody. This has been Futures in 5.